Welcome to the Moon and Gemini podcast. I am your witch in residence, April Edwards. This is our astrology for the week of March 23rd to March 29th. This week carries a particular weight. The astrological year has just begun with the sun entering Aries, and already the sky is asking something serious of us. Aries is the sign of beginnings, but the transits this week remind us that not every beginning is carefree. Some beginnings require maturity, some require healing, and some require us to stand firmly inside our own authority. Across the week, we see three themes emerge: karmic conversations, personal responsibility, and collective transformation. Let's walk through the transits together. March 23rd, Mercury in Pisces conjunct the North Node. The North Node represents the direction of growth, the evolutionary path unfolding in front of us. Mercury governs communication, information, perception, and understanding. When Mercury touches the North Node, words matter, ideas matter. Conversations can redirect the future. Because this occurs in Pisces, the message may not arrive through logic alone. Pisces communicates through intuition, emotional resonance, symbolism, and dreams. Notice a conversation that feels strangely significant, an idea that refuses to leave your mind, or a realization that arrives quietly but feels undeniable. Often when Mercury meets the North Node, something is said or understood that alters the trajectory of events. It may not look dramatic in the moment, but later you realize that this was the moment the story changed. Listen carefully this day. The message may not come twice. March 25th, Sun in Aries conjunct Saturn in Aries. On March 25th, we encounter one of the most serious alignments of the week. The Sun represents identity, vitality, and the sense of self. Saturn represents structure, responsibility, time, and consequence. When these two planets meet, reality becomes clear. Saturn does not deal in fantasy. It asks what is sustainable, what is real, what are you actually willing to commit to? Because this conjunction occurs in Aries, the sign of action and initiative, the question becomes deeply personal. What kind of person are you becoming? What responsibilities come with that identity? This transit can sometimes feel heavy. Saturn energy is not playful, but it is incredibly constructive. It helps us build something that lasts. If something in your life requires discipline, boundaries, or maturity, this transit provides the clarity to see it honestly, not to push you, but to strengthen you. Sun in Aries sextile Pluto in Aquarius. Also on the 25th, the Sun forms its sextile to Pluto. This is an interesting counterbalance to the Saturn influence. Pluto represents deep transformation, power, and the forces shaping collective evolution. A sextile between the Sun and Pluto offers access to personal power, but only if we are willing to engage with it consciously. Under this influence, many people feel a stronger awareness of their own agency. You may see clearly where you need to step forward, where you need to claim authority, or where you need to change something fundamental about the way you operate in the world. Pluto does not force transformation through sextiles, but it opens the door. The question becomes whether we are willing to walk through it. March 26th, Venus in Aries conjunct Chiron in Aries. Midweek brings a deeply personal transit. Chiron represents the wounded healer, the place where pain becomes wisdom. Venus governs love, attraction, values, and relationships. When these two meet, old relational wounds can surface. In Aries, the wound often relates to self-worth, independence, and the right to exist authentically. This can manifest as moments where we feel sensitive in relationships. Perhaps an old insecurity returns. Perhaps we notice patterns in the way we seek validation or give our power away. But the purpose of Chiron is not to reopen wounds unnecessarily. It is to bring them into consciousness so that they can finally heal. This is a day for compassion towards yourself, towards others, and towards the long process of learning how to love without abandoning your own identity. March 28th, Saturn in Aries, sextile Pluto in Aquarius. The week closes with a powerful structural aspect. Saturn builds a system. Pluto transforms that system. When these two planets cooperate, deep and lasting change becomes possible. This is not chaotic revolution, it is intentional restructuring. On a personal level, this transit can help us make serious changes that align with our long-term future. Habits can shift, commitments can be strengthened, boundaries can be established in a way that supports genuine transformation. Collectively, aspects between Saturn and Pluto often correspond with periods where societal structures begin evolving in meaningful ways. Not overnight, but in ways that gradually reshape the landscape. This is the kind of energy that supports building something new from the foundation up. If we step back and look at the pattern, the message of the week becomes clear. First, awareness arrives. Mercury in the North Node highlight important conversations and realizations. Then, responsibility appears. The Sun meeting Saturn asks us to stand inside our commitments. Then, holding unfolds. Venus and Chiron reveal where love and identity still need care. And finally, transformation stabilizes. Saturn and Pluto begin shaping the deeper changes that will carry us forward. This is not a chaotic week. This is a serious one. The kind of week where small choices quietly determine the direction of the future. Aries season has begun. The fire of the zodiac has returned. But fire alone does not build a life. It must be guided by wisdom, structure, and awareness. This week offers exactly that. If you listen carefully, if you act intentionally, you may find yourself stepping into a new level of authority in your own life. Not loudly, but unmistakably. This work grows through word of mouth. If it's been meaningful to you, you can like, share, or subscribe. That's how it reaches the ones who need it.